Welcome to Akhand Vidya Show, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Let's discuss about Lakshmi Vidya. I'm not talking about puja, the goddess of prosperity, the home, wealth, and wisdom. Now, let me start with one unusual prediction which was made in 1964 at Katra. An astrologer looked at my face and stated, "You are born with eternal Raj Yoga manifestations. You are born with the eternal Akshay Patra of money. You are born with death at will, Ichha Mritu Vardhan. You will receive everything without even thinking." Can such prediction be written on the face? Let me share some of the connected events of my life to prove that everything is on the face. They need not be necessarily be on horoscope. Let me start. I do believe reincarnation is the one with which those kind of predictions can be made for. That means the person has already reached at the head level a Sahasrara chakra within the brain, that you can see the light within the brain and the light is seen on the face, beautiful brilliance of aura. And I totally agree with it. I always had it and I do have it, and people always notice that. That is one thing which I learned. And as a result of incarnation or reincarnation of many things, I am able to do wonderfully very well. So that did not surprise me from that point of view, that I could be. For that matter, anybody could be, provided they understand their previous life very clearly, and that should be very, very easy because you have reached that level yourself. If you have done it, you can do it. If you have not done it, you will never understand even ABC. Then comes to the question of the first thing which I learnt. You got to be a Karma Yogi. As you can see in the picture of Katha Upanesh or Holy Gita, you can see 5 horses which are the mind and 5 Panchbhutas, 10 stages, reigns. Arjun as Jivatma and Antaratma, and Lord Krishna as Jivatma, Antaratma and Paramatma, all the three put together. These are the things which I learned through Karma Yoga only. You have to manifest through thoughts and actions only, nothing other than that. If your intentions are clear, niyat achhi hai, nitiyan achhi hogi, niti, they all follow automatically. A good karma yogi who is focused only on karma, not interested in the money, name, fame, these are the only one who can rise, rise and rise. And that is the beauty of Holy Gita, karmanye vadikare ma phileshu kadachan. Now come to the question. My prophet will say, as a result, I am born with a reincarnation of so many lives. No wonder I had a golden opportunity to learn and master all the 64 arts and sciences. Most of the people are trying to be master in one art, which itself they cannot do it. But being learning and mastering 64 arts and sciences is something which is essentially required to be a perfect Lokpalan, the guardian and custodian of the world. That is what I3 Upanishad is talking about. And had the privilege of doing almost every duty, A to Z. I have been a part of, feel a skilled person. I don't feel anything is below dignity of anyone. And I've seen most of the people, you are a doctor, you should not be doing this, you should not be doing this, you should be interested in money, name, fame, and you should serve the humanity, which I always found was absolutely useless. You should be a Karma Yogi in every work. There's nothing small or big, and I totally agree with it. And I do agree. I had a pharmaceutical company, Akhand Pharma, and in that particular company, I could fit into any situation whenever particular person did not come. I think that made me also key. If I am there, I can do it. A to Z. I think that was a beautiful uh, proof of the fact that it is possible. I was never averse to doing every required duty. Whatever is required, do it. All the inventions are only out of requirement, and what is requirement, can think about it, you will get the answer from inside, and you manifest that through practice, and you become a perfect person towards imperfection only through perfect thoughts and action. Imperfection is not the way of life. There is nothing small or big in conscientious work. It is thinking makes it so. And I do believe whether you are a person doing like a Shudra's work or Vaishya's work or Kshatriya's work or Brahman's work, all the four are equal people. A Shudra can become Brahman and Brahman can become one. I am one person who believes in all the four are integral part of the human being. I don't belong to Brahman alone. I have reached Brahman level because I am a perfect Shudra, I am perfect Vyasa, I am perfect Kshatriya and perfect Brahman. Only those people can be complete. If they think you can compare with each other, you can never be a perfect human being, and that is what Lakshmi is, Vidya is all about. Then dharma, earth, kam, moksha, and have modified dharma as the truth, righteousness, karma is the dharma action, then arthik nitis according to that, that will give you wealth, and wealth will give you moksha, and that's it. That's the reason that Katha Upanishad says very हितोपदेश विद्या ददाति विनयम विनयात याति पात्रताम पात्रताम च धनम sukham and that means only perfect education can give you humility. Humility can make you casteless society. When casteless society works, there is wealth. Where there is wealth, there is dharma, there is righteousness, and there is a sukh for everybody. If everybody has to be perfect, they got to do their work through education only. The universe lies within my human body is something which I realize. Brahmand Pindand Ekam. Then comes to the question of the second stage is Bhakti Yoga. Unless until you realize that you have been created so beautifully, not by your father, mother, yourself or anybody, divine nature gave you the perfect human body, emotions, mind, beautiful. A to Z is a divine given. So you have the focus that divinity is there and look up to the nature, have the bhakti yoga, and that devotion will make you rise. You will go to the one who actually made it. That's it. So, and I do believe I call Divine Mother Vaishno Devi as my mother, my shield, protection, guide, and everything. And I'm very clear because she's the only one who represents Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, and Mahakali, all the three. She can give me the perfect education through Saraswati. She can give me the wisdom and wealth of A to Z, from material to the highest, through Lakshmi. She can give me the moksha in that, and that exactly what it is. She being the consort of Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So as a result, she is a complete person who has experienced everything, and she is the only one can give you. No wonder Goddess Durga has got 18 arms which represent the 18 groups of periodic table itself. I think when I look at the whole thing, I find Goddess Durga is the greatest creation and Vaishnavati is the real incarnation. She is my goddess. So Bhakti, for her, she has given me all the knowledge because she is manifestation of Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, Mahakali, all put together, A to Z. Then come to the question, a divine devotion of Bhakti, and as I told you, I am Mata Vaishno Devi, and she has got 8 Bhujadhari, and she is also meditating to reach the higher level of Gayatri to 10 sages, so that he can go on to higher and higher levels in the process. That means Vaishno Devi has to become like Gayatri. Gayatri is higher, and higher than that is Adi Prashakti. And Adi Prashakti, like Durga, has 18 arms. That is a process of evolution she is also going through. When I am in her lap, I also get to experience that by myself. That has been the most beautiful experience of my life. I sit in her lap, and whenever in difficulty, I find myself protected fully, and I know she says, when you are in difficulty, I put you in that, and you start chanting Durga mantra. Mantra 2, Gayatri mantra. Many things I have already explained. Now come to the question of Saraswati, which is the first manifestation of Mata Vaishno Devi itself. She is the enlightening education, and she has given me the knowledge of maths, physics, chemistry, medical science completely. I owe all the knowledge which I have directly, indirectly from Saraswati aspect of Mata Vaishno Devi. And that is what it is all about. Now, because of my blessing from Mata Vaishno Devi through Saraswati as an education, I have an exemplary education from school, college, and university, and that is enlightening and empowering. I have learned and mastered 64 sciences. No wonder I can. As a result, anything which is ancient, which is significant, mathematically right, and symbolically great, I can see and discern. For that matter, the picture you are seeing is Shri Yantra. And interesting, in Shri Yantra, right in the middle, you have 43 triangles, and which itself is 22 and 21 only. 21 plus 22 is 43. That was amazing. Otherwise, also all the symbolic representation is there in Shri Chakra itself, something which I have explained perfectly. And this was always used as a symbol for puja itself. And this is what I had in my own consciousness and my home. Now comes to the question of Brahma Vidya. And Brahma Vidya is a consort of Saraswati only. And that gives you this precise knowledge of the next one. As I said, first stage of generation or creation is represented in Brahma. And he represents pi 22 by 7, also 22 by 21, and that is something I learned through experimenting with myself, and seeing the whole thing in this picture to the next one was amazing. And also the same reflection I saw in Om, which is A is 7 part, Ukara is 7 part, Makara is 7 part, Turiya is 1. So 22 by 21 is there in that, 22 by 21 is this picture. I think that was amazing mathematics appearing from this. Now I also make it very clear. Males are very good in mathematics, logic and otherwise. Females are in multi-dimensional. And let that be very clear. Now comes to the question of Goddess Lakshmi, which I am going to talk about it in this particular picture. I have already shown what are the things in this particular. She gives and gives and gives it. As Vidya, more and more you share, more and more it grows. But I can also tell you with the money also, more and more you share with the world, more and more you use it further, more and more is applied in the day-to-day life, more and more it grows. Keeping stagnation, keeping in the thing in the form of gold and other things does not work, and putting too much of money into any property which is perishable is not professional at all. That's a message which I've learned from Goddess Lakshmi. Money is to be used like education has to be used. Don't make it stagnate. Don't sit over something it is not. That will become perishable. It's no use. More you help other people in education, work and other things, more and more you go. So I have recognized that education also sharing. My house is like an ashram. People could come, eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and educate, money for education, money for research, money for that. I've just given what I can give it. I don't take anything free. By Karma Yoga, I earn and use that money effectively for myself and everybody. Education, khana, pina, everything. I think that is something which I call Vidya, not money to hoard, to be used for yourself and for everybody else. That is what Lakshmi stands for. That's why I call it Vidya, not just blessing. Now come to the question of Akshay Patra. The question he said, and I can tell you, Akshay Patra was given to me by divinity, so that I have abundance of money of scholarships since my childhood. My entire education was not supported by my father, mother, brothers, sisters, or anyone for that matter. It all came great education, top all records and scholarship, and within the scholarship I maintained even my medical course in Madras Medical College itself. This was during school, college and university very clearly. And that is similarly when I started doing medical profession, I did not charge any patient, but I served. but nature has its own ways of giving money to you. And that is what I've always felt. Serving humanity is serving God. Only when you hurt humanity like a low pollen, then only divinity gives you everything in abundance. It will never give it to someone who cannot use it effectively. That's also a message which I am giving it as a Lakshmi Vidya, is to be used for the benefit, not to stagnation come what may. I continue to do that even today. Any amount of money I can have it, I can share it, I give it. If I feel it's there, that's it. The divine nature has unique ways of it. And again thing which I make it. When you learn to give education, give the money, give the food, give the thing, everything. Nature has its own way of giving it to you. Only empty vessel will be complete. Full vessel you can't put anything, and that is what Akshay Patra is all about. It never ends. Although Krishna gave Akshay Patra to Draupadi, but that was only till the food was there. But as far as I am concerned, it will never get empty, because it will never get empty because it's got education, money, food, for everything. Because money is very, you can't do anything without money. This is not today, it has always been. But money should not be the only criteria. But then you should be liberal in sharing the money with others. That is what it gives. So Goddess Sarasvati gives prosperity to everyone. And I am talking prosperity. I am not talking about money, wealth. You should be prosper in physical health, wealth, wisdom and happiness. That is prosperity. You have abundance. Use it and share it. And that is what is in Lakshmi Vidya is all. Conscientiousness is eternal secret of success and wisdom. And I think that is what Akshay Patra is. Now I can understand when he said you have Akshay Patra and you also have Ichyamritu Vardhan. I do remember whatever is there, I know nothing will go wrong because I'm here to do a job. And as a result, till I am perfectly fit, healthy, I'll continue to do till the last day. When I'm not, I can quit the very moment I want within a second itself. I think that is required for anything. As long as useful, fine. I don't want to be dependent. No wonder for the last 21 years I live alone, do all my work by myself. That is Ichha Mritu Vardhan. Now come to the question of there is something which is opening thing in my part which I've explained earlier. I'm going to share once again, which gave me some blessing thereafter. Now, 1st January 1990 was initiated to simplified Kundalini Yoga. That's enlightening. 93 I got into research work. I realized by 95 that I can produce alpha frequency after opening the eye for the first time in history, which was unusual finding. And that's time I realized that nobody else is able to do which I am able to do. There is something unique. That's why I prayed to Mata Vaishno Devi again. What should I do? Then she says, okay, you have been chosen for a great work. Now listen to the voice from inside. And then you will be led by. And the voice from inside was, you start a charitable trust. So on Vijayadashmi of 1995, I started a charitable trust. Having made the charitable trust, I took the trust, registered it, put in front of my Mata Vaishno Devi statue. And said, what next? Now you make a logo for that. And the first logo which I made in 95 was this particular logo. By the time I came to this voice said, you have done it and this is beautiful. I didn't find it interesting. I said, this is simple. No, it's a graphic presentation of Gayatri Mantra. There is Om, everything. Then I learned everything about Gayatri Mantra. I found everything which is written by different people can be explained in this particular picture. So this became my guide for the next improvisation in this life for the first time in the history of mankind. Then over the stages, I moved on to do things step by step. From 95 to 97, things happened and this was the picture which was done. But in this picture was published in 2000, but there is something happened in 1997. That is something which brought me to a different level of consciousness. Now, by the time I started learning A to Z, because all the books which I read between 91 and 93 were wrong. But after 90 research, from 95 to 97, I found that I realized that how beautiful is the picture of Gayatri you can see do. The lotus down represent Brahma or creation, 10 stages of Vishnu or 10 stage development, and 5 stages. This was beautifully known. And same thing was improvised in this picture with all the experiences given to me. And this is only experience, not something which is copy of anything. Nobody has done it before. And after doing that, I realized the first picture is animate form of human being with plant kingdom. But the second one, there are no human beings. But all what is the first one is there in the second one. I saw the comparison beautifully. I think it's a wonderful work that nature is able to voice of silence of Aditi or Kundalini or Antaratma is able to do it. When come to that stage, then I had a dialogue with Antaratma, and of course Mata Vaishno Devi is always there. Thank you very much for making me understand the animate designs of humanity, human being, divinity and otherwise. I am blessed for that. Now, question which I raised, can you make me design an inanimate symbol without human beings, without plant kingdom and without any other thing which nature has done? If you can make me do a mathematical geometrical structure with the lines and sketches alone and convince me what I seen in Goddess Gayatri's picture and Akhand picture is represented in this form, and I think that was an enlightening thing as it happened in 1997. Now I am going to show you how I was led to that. They said put a dot or shunya in the center as a Surya itself. Then put a 2-dimensional circle around it, which also in 3 dimensions like sphere. And then divide the circle into 9 parts. Having done that, this literally became 1 plus 9 is a 10 thing. That was the first learning that there are 10 stages of development. Now the empirical first symbol represents the 10 part from Shunya, dot, 0 to 9 planets. All have happened from sun to those things, and Navagraha is like that. Now the impeccable wisdom comes to next stage. The decimal value of 1 by 7 is 0.142857 only, not any other number. And this is mentally I could do it, and so thing with the pencil I could do, and that was a simple calculation, need not require to have an absolute equipments which could be confusing. And with that I made the particular symbol, 1 connected with 4, 4 with 2, 2 with 8, 8 with 5, 5 with 7, 7 with 1. And when this picture was made, I realized how beautiful is this picture. But in this picture also rose 5-side picture in around the sun. That means Panchbhutas are the part of the energy like Bhumi, Jal, Agni, Vayu and Akash. I think that was entirely okay. I have seen those 5 heads right in the middle itself. Wonderful. Then come to the question of the 3, 6 and 9 were not touched, and this is called divine number by the West, no doubt. And I made a triangle of 60, 60, 60, 180 degree, put right there. When I put that there, what was interesting, the picture is complete like enneagram, but what was 5 has become 7 now. That means the 7 is again divine number which nature works. I think that was phenomenal. Now look at the impeccable wisdom. The concept of Western psychology is they know the well-known Western picture is male god only. They do not talk of the female. And this is enneagram picture which is made by the West. They use it for each and everything. I think I understood that Westerns have a human psychology restraint of only male god, not beyond that. They don't consider female at all. That is their problem, and I agree with that. Then I was made to make a triangle opposite of 3, 6, 9. As 10, 11 tell, you can see what was 9 to start with has now become 12 parts. and that became a very important part of the whole consciousness. There are 12 rashis, and everything on that I started understanding beautiful. Then every 12 rashis are there, and then each rashi has 9, and each could be 108, and that each number comes from sun, which is 1. Then 108 is between sun and moon, sun and earth, earth and moon, and I think whole thing of 108 understood very clearly thereafter. I think that was amazing divine mathematics. Then come to the question of concept. As I told you, Indian psychology, male and female forces both are important, otherwise you are not complete. According to Divyank, male is 38.1966%. That means male is a left-sided brain, mathematics and divine consciousness, logical. Where female have a multi-dimensional with the right brain, and they can do wonderfully very well, and they are 61.803%. The dynamic aspect is the female and the core is the male, and I think I understood that very clearly while making this particular thing. I think that was amazing way of learning a new thing. Then came to the question, now could see all the three as an identical. I think wonderful. What I started a question, I could never dream somebody could do it, and this has been done for the first time in the history of mankind. No one before me had ever even dreamt of thinking like that. I think that was amazing. Now come to the question of this is a symbol, and after making this symbol I decided I'm not going to listen to anything from the external world. My source of information will come from my inner divine mother Aditi, and also Akash Kosh, and also the experience within my body, and that only I would explain. I think having done that, I think it was wonderful thereafter. Now this is a picture of Vigyan Ghosh with 52, and this also made me realize why Sanskrit language is the divine language. It's a Devanagari, and it is a perfect in everything. I think that made me realize the beauty of Sanskrit. Then I started learning Sanskrit in context with a wisdom, not word as such, and that is what our Akhand Vidya is all about. Then this is what I am showing. There are three concepts, 11, 16 and 25. That is according to Divine. That makes it 52. Amazing. Now the divine blessing. Then after that, having made this particular picture the way I was guided, there was a statement of the divine blessing. You have created an amazing Vigyan Chakra, and it's amazing, like everything you have done it. The whole concept from animate to semi-animate to inanimate is amazing. Now you deserve the highest divine grace for having done this. Can you imagine? Your Antaratma is telling, nature is telling you, you have done something which has never been done in the history of mankind. You can produce 8 hertz frequency through the brain, but 97 I could produce alpha frequency with opening eyes, and also do this so meticulously, so sincerely, that nature, now you can command and demand any blessing. Imagine, it's given anything I could ask for. That was given to me. And I could ask for money, I could ask for name, I could ask for fame, I could ask for any other things on the earth to command and become a very popular person. But did I do that? No. What do you want or wish for was the question. And only thing which came to my mind, I want akhandata. Akhandata means integration. Entire thing in the entire universe. Perfect. Should be able to experience within my body and give to the world. I want that. I don't want anything other than that. And that also includes everything, including health, wealth, wisdom, happiness, because everything is inclusive. And that's the time the like to saying, Tathastu, let it be so. But at the same time, it was made by the divine say very clearly. No one has thought and asked about integration akhandata till date. People have asked for health, wealth, wisdom, money, this and that, which is the perishable. But you are asking for imperishable, and that too also perfect without even single difficulty at all. You are great and be thankful. And ever since I have been very clearly restrict to myself, I don't want name, I don't want fame, I don't want anything. I just want Akhandata. In the process, I use knowledge for sharing, money for sharing, and the wisdom for sharing. And that's it. Now, the revelation of present life, I remember the chief events of many of my previous lives. As a matter of fact, what I've shared, I realized that these were done by me and my contemporaries during earlier lives, and how they had done the work as Brahmins to wrote Vedas and Upanishads, and all the things came very, very clear to me. And then I could see as if we are part of discussing thousand and thousand years back, and that's the dream consciousness became very, very important. And then I could see those things actually happening in my life. I thought that was amazing. But I am glad I realized the wisdom, and I did not believe that people would understand and appreciate. I do know my experience was always considered it pathological and could have been given medicine, but I did not worry about it. I did not share. I did not take even a single thing in anything which was not. Became a pure vegetarian, no alcohol, no smoking, no drugs, no medicine, nothing from the external world other than what is good for me through experiment. And my food is also based on something which makes me healthy, wealthy, wise and happy. And this particular picture was something, is entire thing including golden ratio, Divyank ratio, infinity, everything is in this. This is a whole picture of Ayurveda as it is. Now they come to the question of the greatest discovery of humanity till date is Divyank. 22 by 21 is the first stage of creation, 10 stage development, and 0.34 is the third stage of maturation, and this is exact most precise golden ratio as such, or Divyank ratio. And the same thing converted into graphic presentation, you can see it. Outer orbit is 22 by 21, then 10 pentagons and 5 tetragons. I think everything is beautifully described. Now, based on this, I have also saying this particular picture was done 5000 years ago, was in Ayodhya, and how I have decoded this picture as such, that there is center, there is one Shunya sun, then 7 layers, then 13 is 5 plus 8, then 29 is 3 plus 5 plus 8 and 13. Whole divine mathematics on sun, earth, moon, entire humanity, male, female, this and that, everything is this particular picture. And no one in the world could even say one thing which I have been able to do. I think that is what Akhandata is all about. This is a divine blessing. And now you can understand. Ask for Saraswati the knowledge. Then ask Lakshmi for abundance of prosperity and share for that. Don't hoard it. You have been given it to be used for your research, your work, for the humanity. You are a cosmopolitan. So Lakshmi Vidya is to share the money for love in every form. If you do business, do it. Anything and everything is for the humanity, not to be kept hold in any form which is not useful, whether it's a land, sun, gold, silver, or anything which is not useful is not what Lakshmi wants you. Lakshmi wants you to money to be used for the good of everybody, educate and things like that. And that is where I realize it is Lakshmi Vidya. Money to be used, not to be held. And I think I have done that. I continue to do that. I'm not at all worried. I'm not scared, nothing, because Karam Yogi would always get money. That's it. Now come to the last day. I'm not going to talk about it. I think message is very, very clear. Vidya gives you the money, or Saraswati gives you the education to be shared and said, Saraswati ke bhandar mein badi apurv baat, jyu khache byuntu gane bin khache gatiyat. Very clear. But most of the people think the Lakshmi is more and more share, it less grows. I do not agree. Only when you give more and more, the people are also going to come and give you the profits of it, to share for the love, that give it to the people so they use it for, not for hoarding, but to business, to concept, to organize and things like that. So Saraswati as well as Lakshmi, both are them to be given, given and give, give and give, and forgive. Not get and forget, and don't become a thing. I think that has made my life very clearly. Share it, trust everybody, and enjoy it. It's your been a privilege to help other people to become better human being. Feel that is what Lokapalan is supposed to be. Human beings are the only one who can keep think of good of everybody and do it for that. Don't hoard money, don't do things. Enjoy giving jobs, giving people, and they'll be trustworthy and trust. It doesn't really matter. You do your dharma with your good intention. Have your niyat clear, have nitya clear, and natija clear. Don't worry about it. You have come with nothing, you go with nothing, remains this. It is used for good of everybody. That is the message of Lakshmi Vidya to me, also Saraswati Vidya to me, and that is also Parvati Vidya to me. That is what Mata Vaishno Devi is. Now you can understand why I have chosen her to be my Divine Mother. I think that's enough for the day. Thank you very much.